G'day guys, Tim here, the guy in the hat with my two generals, Bisher from Stormrake and Sam, of course, from Liberty Bullion. And we're here today to talk about the markets. And predominantly, of course, we've got capital outflows from real estate. Now, this is something I want to address today, and people's propensity to want to actually sell out of these assets and go back to the very cash and currency that's the problem. Look, here we are, of course, at the beautiful Brunetti. We've got our coffees, the boys are ready. Gentlemen, let's quickly just start just with a quick wrap up of where the markets are, and then we'll get into a couple of questions about, people's sentiment and what they're doing with their assets. Bish, where's BTC today?
BTC is at around 90K US, flirting with the 91K level, which is crazy because the last time we did this podcast, we were breaking all-time highs and we were testing 88K.
Yep.
Now we went up and printed some new all-time highs at 93,000 US, 144K Aussie, which is astonishing.
Is the breakout beyond 93? I mean, can you see a breakout beyond 93,000?
Well, we're going to be hitting 100K, right? So yes, of course. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. Obviously, the ISO tokens have taken front and center stage over the last week. We've had XRP double in a week, right? HBAR, which we've allocated some of your clients into, is up 40% in 24 hours.
Yep.
So absolutely mind-melting numbers. And yeah, we've only just started the bull run. So happy days.
Bull run. Sammy, where's gold and silver today?
So after gold and silver's recent pullback, we've seen a bit of a pump last night. So silver was up 3% in US dollars for the night. That is 9 months of bank interest rates in one night, ladies and gentlemen, on a safe haven asset. You cannot ask for much more than that. So my 2 cents is that the bottom's in on this pullback, that we're off to new all-time highs, particularly for gold, coming real soon. 3K US per ounce on gold, $40 US per ounce for silver, falling those within the next 3 to 6 months. So pullbacks in, looks like the bottom's in, nice rebound off the bottom. Get it while it's cheap.
Absolutely. Get it while it's hot, Sammy.
Yeah.
Now, Bish, everybody seems to want to sell these assets. As soon as the market starts to turn downwards, it's almost the opposite. Sam talks about this idea that when your favorite pair of jeans drops in price, everybody goes and buys it. But when you're in investment, everybody wants to sell it. What's that all about?
Well, what I'm surprised at, because Sammy and I we're two sides of the same coin, you know what I mean? And I love chatting with him every day. And so people are coming to him on the gold and silver pullback saying, I want to sell, sell, sell. People are coming to me now that Bitcoin and digital assets have started to run and they want to sell, sell, sell. And it just doesn't make sense to me, because what are you selling it for? What are you selling your gold and silver? What are you selling your Bitcoin for? What are you selling your XRP for? You're selling it for Aussie dollars, guys, right? It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. The Aussie dollar has lost 99.9% of its value against Bitcoin in the last 10 years. So why would you want to go and sell it back into something that is being constantly devalued, right? It makes no sense. I understand that, there might be some sort of pseudo safety in Australian dollars, but it's completely fake. It's a mirage. It's fake safety. So what I'm trying to educate people on is that you come to Sammy wanting to sell on a pullback, you come to me wanting to sell on a pump, but you guys need to be more bullish. You are not bullish enough. You need to buy relentlessly, because then your assets appreciate in value and you get to win. That's what I'm all about, because it's the time for conservatism, the time for safety or perceived safety is long gone. Now is the time for action, because we're at the start of a Bitcoin bull run and a wider crypto bull run. Like 40% for HBAR in 24 hours is simply astonishing. And gold and silver haven't even really started moving yet. And we haven't even touched on the topic of the biggest repricing in human history, but more on that later. But essentially, people want to sell because they think that there's some sort of perceived safety in Aussie dollars, but there is no store of value. There is no safety in the Australian dollar. Dispose of it. Use Bitcoin and gold as your unit of account, and you will become wealthier than you'll know what to do.
Back the truck up, Bish.
Back the truck up.
So, Sammy, you get this a lot in your market as well. Gold goes up. It reaches all-time records. It drops back 100 or 200 Australian dollars, and all of a sudden everyone wants to sell. What do you tell your clients?
Well, look, I've been saying the same thing over the last week or two, is that buy the dip, ladies and gentlemen. This asset is still just as good as it was 4 weeks ago. For every reason that you bought silver 4 weeks ago, it's still a good reason to buy it today. Inflation's not going anywhere. Trump's actually going to make inflation worse, ladies and gentlemen, yet the market seems to be acting like he's going to make it better. Buy the dip. This is an asset that is going up over the long term. Do not miss out, and do not miss out because you sell a short-term dip. you will look back in the future and think to yourself, why did I do that? I knew it was the right asset to be in. I did all the research. I knew the long-term thesis was sound, and I sold a pullback. Do not do that, ladies and gentlemen. Do not let your kids ask you in 20 years, Mum, Dad, why don't we get any money from gold and silver? Why did everybody else around us profit and not us? Oh, well, we sold the pullback. Do not do that. Buy pullbacks. Do not sell pullbacks. And touching on something that Bisher said about wanting to sell the asset, you know, I had this at the recent highs for gold and silver. People ask me, Sam, is the bull run over? You know, is this it? Well, this guy here, the man in the hat, he would not talk about this asset for 2.5 years if he thought it was a good idea to sell it after it goes up 40%. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna copy Bisher here. You are not bullish enough on gold and silver. If you think that silver going up 40% for the year means it's all over, time to get out, next asset, no, you are not bullish enough. This is something that is going to go off. Once we see silver break $50 per ounce US, it's going to get silly, and you do not want to sell before we break 50 US.
And can we just take a moment to realize how handsome the man in the hat is here? But look at this guy. Look at this good-looking guy.
Well,
Look at this stunning individual.
I tell you what, with you two boys around, it's a hard battle, but I'm trying my best to all those 56-year-olds out there. I'm trying to keep the side up here, guys. Cheers, boys, by the way.
Cheers.
Cheers
Let's
to BDC and gold.
It's a great success, boys. Like, I love this asset so much. And you guys have literally given the best portfolio to people, because when you put safety and the stability of gold and silver with the growth of Bitcoin and digital assets, you never have to sell ever again.
So let's talk about this. You have a graphic on there about the US presidents.
Yes.
Now, Trump has come out and said that he's going to fix inflation. Did he fix it the last time?
Right,
There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
So where's Trump on that list?
He added $7 trillion to the national deficit in 4 years.
But he said he could fix it.
So this is the thing.
Surely he's not lying. He's not lying, is he?
No. Of course, the politicians would never lie to you. But get this. Clinton, Democrat, added $1 trillion to the national deficit.
Clinton.
Bush, Republican, added $4 trillion to the national deficit. Obama, Democrat, 8 years, added $9 trillion, $1 trillion a year for every year he was in office to the national deficit. Trump added $7 trillion to the national deficit in 4 years. Biden, $5 trillion, Democrat. It doesn't matter, guys. Republican, Democrat, it's all the same thing. The same reason why gold and silver have continued to completely appreciate over the last 8 years, the same reason why Bitcoin has gone from less than $1 to now $90,000 is the reason why you need to be going into it in assets, because the deficit will only continue to get bigger. The currency devaluation will only continue to get worse. And I promise you, you get into these assets, you will become wealthier than you know what to do.
Yeah, and last year, I think gold 38%, silver 40%, Bitcoin, 110%? What is it? What was the rise in Bitcoin last year for the year?
Like from this time last
Well,
year?
it would have to actually be way beyond that now.
It's about 117%.
117%. And Sammy, what is the Aussie dollar doing while all this is going on?
Cost of living crisis.
Stop laughing, Sammy.
Have you been to Woolies?
We don't take away other people's myths.
It's $3.50 for a Mars bar now. To everybody who saves in dollars,
Actually, how much did these 3 copies cost us, dear Tim?
I actually had to sell the car.
They'd remortgage the house.
We actually had to sell these 3 copies, $12. $12 for 3
You
copies.
almost have to perform a scene act to get a copy of that.
Guys, come on. Like, this is, and yet for Sammy and I, and for Tim, the man in the hat, everything has gotten cheaper for us. Cheaper.
Yep. No cost of living crisis here.
No cost of living crisis.
Yep.
So,
No, that's a really good point. And you said something interesting to me the other day. You said that you don't feel this recession or this depression, or whatever we want to call it.
And look, I am smart enough to know that the average Australian is doing it hard. I am not numb. I see the issue. I understand that there is, fundamentally speaking, a cost of living crisis if you denominate yourself in dollars. I get it. I'm not gaslighting anybody here. It's real. It's there. But for me, it doesn't exist. I don't feel it.
And on that though, I mean, you know, people are listening to this, and there might be people listening to this that are doing it really tough.
Yeah.
How easy is it though? I mean, let's just put this in perspective. They're sitting in currency, they have cash in a bank, they've got real estate. Their lives are pretty difficult at the moment. How easy can they get to these assets? How simple is it?
You just have to change your mindset, ladies and gentlemen. I know this sounds like a cliche and it sounds too good to be true, but if you truly change your mindset, change the way you think and see the world financially, move yourself and denominate yourself outside of the dollar fiat currency debt-based system, done. You can stop having a cost of living crisis as easy as that. Now, that's not to say it's going to solve all your problems and you never have to go to work again, but you will not have a cost of living crisis anymore. The minute you start to denominate your wealth in assets, inflation hedge, zero counterparty risk assets that are moving up, you will continue to get better off, not worse off. You will no longer have a cost of living crisis.
Bish, how are you going to feel this next, if we go into a heavy recession, which I believe we're in anyway, guys. I don't know why we keep pretending we're not. They just changed the CPI or the CPI. But how are you and your family going to look going through this?
Completely fine. I mean, at the end of the day, BTC, gold, silver, these are assets that you can hold indefinitely. And when I say don't ever sell, what I'm saying is that don't go sell all in and then buy all in and then sell all out. When you hold or you denominate in your favorite assets, Bitcoin and silver for Sammy and I's case, when you go to sell to get your weekly whatever or do whatever you need to do, nothing ever happens. So let's say there is a recession or whatever it is, there is no concern for us because the safety blanket that you have in your hedge assets, in your zero counterparty risk hedge assets is truly a powerful position to be in. I can sleep at night not ever having to worry about price because the value will only continue to become more and more realized. And I think I speak about this a lot, is that price is not indicative of the value that you're receiving. What is the price of freedom? What is the price of liberty? What is the price of mobility, right? What is the price for that? You know what I mean? You can't put a price on it. The value is what you get, and the value is limitless. Yep. And that's why you're going to see the most epic repricing in human history, where when Bitcoin and silver run, and they're going to have a comparable value and become number one, number two, and number three global assets
consistently.
Right? Consistently, yeah. Because right now BTC is number 7, silver's number 8, and they kind of switch back and forth here and there. And gold is number 1. Once gold, silver, and Bitcoin are entrenched as the number 1, 2, and 3 assets, and Bitcoin becomes a global reserve asset, you will never have to worry about dollars ever again. And the wealth that you'll make along this repricing is simply phenomenal, because once the value has the value shift has occurred, that's it. The multiples, the gains, the crazy upside diminishes overnight. You get a far more safer and stable asset that's not going to move around all that much. The volatility is your friend. So when you're getting this massive repricing and massive spike in value realization, you're going to get some volatility along the way, but that's what you want in your portfolio, so you can put in 100 grand and you be patient 4, 8, 10 years, and you can pull out a mil, 10 mil, 20 mil in notional value that you can be able to transform your life with. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sammy, what are your comments on that?
Look, I can't help but agree. Going back to the idea of we're already in a recession, if you look at Australia's drop in real average wages, we're talking about the increase or no increase in wages minus inflation, then we're having our biggest drop in real wages for the last 50 years. And we're having the biggest real drop in wages across the Western world. Australians are doing it tough. They may not call it a recession, ladies and gentlemen, but Australians are doing it tough. And this is something that people ask me. They go, Sam, are you worried about recession? You know, what would recession mean for you? Well, I know the playbook. I know that recession means print. That's what they did in 2008. That's what they do every time we have a crash and recession. Now, when they turn the printer on, what does that mean for those who are denominated in assets that cannot be printed? It means that the dollar value of our assets skyrockets. So in a world in which there's a recession and they turn the money printer back on and all of that, Bisher and I are going to do extremely well. Our families are going to be very, very happy, not sad, happy.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to take any kind of joy in people doing it tough. I just want to highlight that we share this information with you so you can make good choices.
Make good choices.
Make good choices.
But to be honest with you guys, right, it's already here. Like I've been seeing, like there's a afterpay for Domino's Pizza. You can afterpay a Domino's Pizza now. So you walk in Domino's on Flinders Street, not far from here, and you can afterpay a pizza. Can that give you guys everything that you need to realize about the state of the economy, where you have to make 4 easy installments of $4.95 to be able to afford your pizza? That's the state of play right now. And then, so when Afterpay doesn't cut it, you now have before pay. So you can get paid before your pay cycle. You just got to upload your pay slips and you can get it early. Another form of credit. Australians are some of the biggest borrowers in the world. Our household debt to GDP ratio is some of the worst on the planet. We are addicted to credit because we're constantly having the Aussie dollar get devalued. And so when you go into your everyday store or whatever to be able to get something, you're having to spend more and more Aussie dollars, not because the goods and services that you're getting are worth more or they're better quality or anything like that. It's because the Aussie dollars get you less. So you have to take on more and more debt to be able to get the same amount of goods and services that you used to get 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Break the system, get onto a Bitcoin standard, get onto a gold and silver standard, and you never have to worry about that rubbish ever again.
That's such a good thing. Create your own standard. You don't need to wait for a government to announce a standard. No, you just create your own standard. No, so Sammy, your number one's gold, silver, and platinum. People walk in tomorrow or today. Yep. What do you tell them?
When people ask me this question all the time, what should I be buying? Which metals in which quantities? And for me, at the moment, I'm saying focus on silver. Gold's had a good run already. Silver's going to outperform here. It already has so far for the year, but it's about to outperform gold massively, is my 2 cents. And platinum as well. Platinum, I see, is incredibly undervalued. It's never been this cheap compared to gold before, ladies and gentlemen. It is 30 times rarer in the Earth's crust. In 2008, it was twice the price of gold. Today, less than half the price of gold. So super cheap. I've been buying platinum hand over fist the last few weeks, as well as silver as well. So if you're asking me what I'm buying at the moment, silver and platinum.
Silver, platinum. Bish, buy or sell right now? Why are you guys laughing? It's like you know something we don't know.
We're about to punch on in the cafe. Buy, guys, buy.
I thought you were going to say sell.
Yeah. Dude, this is it, guys. We've been in a sideways chop for 6 months. We've finally had a breakout, and you're selling the breakout. Like, come on, guys. We've got a biblical bull run ahead of us. This is where the best gains are made. Yeah. H bar, which I'll probably put about $1 million worth of $1 million worth of allocation through or BTR. They've made $400,000 in 24 hours, guys. We've only just gotten started.
And what's the Aussie dollar done in 24 hours?
Just continue to become a piece of shit.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If you look that up on the internet, if you look up piece of on the internet, it actually has an Aussie dollar.
I always forget you don't swear on your channel.
Well, I can.
Yeah.
My boys can. I just can't because I've got to be the classy. So.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, boys. Well, that's it. Of course, fantastic. So you're telling people to buy. Yep. Buy. They're not bullish enough.
Focus on Bitcoin. Focus on the ISOs.
What percentage of your, if you've got operating capital in a commercial bank, let's say, for example, somebody has $10,000 sitting there doing nothing in the bank.
Yep.
How much should they use of that $10,000 on BTC?
$10,000.
Right. I had a feeling you might say that.
Yeah, but if they're coming to Sammy, go 50-50, go 60-40.
But if they're coming to you, they pick the phone. You're the first person to pick up the phone.
Put in $6,000, $7,000 into Bitcoin. Spread the rest out across some ISOs like XRP, XLM, Algo, HBAR, and you're done. You're home.
It's good to see us talking about ISOs again, of course, because the guy in the hat won't get skewered as much as he.
Well, remember what we said. It's Bitcoin season first. Yeah. How many times?
We've been saying this for a while.
How many predictions do we need to give you guys before you start to realize the man in the hat, Sammy Boy, the Samurai Silver, and the Baron of Bitcoin only has your best interest at heart? I wasn't selling you altcoins and I wasn't selling you ISOs, not because I don't believe in them, not because I don't think that they're going to make money, but it's because we're in Bitcoin season first. Bitcoin always runs first, and it did. It went from 78,000 to 93,000 in a heartbeat. It's been a week. That is
almost like
move.
You knew what was going on.
Yes, and then the altcoins started running. Now is the time for altcoin season. Yep. Now is to start planting those seeds to harvest them.
Yep.
This is how it works, guys. I can give you the playbook, but you just got to follow it.
Sammy, somebody's got $50,000 sitting in a commercial bank. What are you telling them to do?
Why have you got 50,000 sat in a commercial bank?
What do you say, Bish? You got 50,000
You got,
today?
yeah, you got 50,000 problems, and Sammy and I can delete those problems for you. And then this is the best part of what we do. You give us your $50,000, we transform those problems into assets, and then from the fees that you pay us, we go out and buy more Bitcoin and silver. That's how it works.
Simple.
Simple.
All right. Well, any parting words, Sammy, for the lovely people here, just as we wind out today?
Buy. Gold, silver, platinum. Get it while it's cheap. I'm gonna rip off Tim here. Make good choices, ladies and gentlemen. Do not sell pullbacks. Do not sell pullbacks. Please, please, please. Do not sell pullbacks. Buy pullbacks.
Bish, any parting words as we wind out here?
You're not bullish enough. Very simple. Everything that you think about bull runs, everything that you think about repricing, value, you are not bullish enough. Get more bullish, get wealthy.
Yes, from the very handsome men, of course, in Wealthland. We've got Sammy, of course, from Liberty Bullion. Liberty means freedom, of course. That's about choices.
Indeed.
You know, so make good liberty, as we say.
Yes. Yeah.
Make good storm. As
Yeah.
we say.
That's for Friday night.
That's for Friday night. So there we go. Bish brings the storm. Sammy creates liberty, and we talk about choices. That's it for me. Guy in the hat and my two army generals. Remember, buy, never stop buying. And as always, make good choices.